Many years ago, a mysterious burst of radioactive rays shot down from the sky. The light mutated animals and plants on Earth from vicious monsters and cute Pokemons called phantom beasts. Our hero is Lee Mun-seon, a young guy who dropped out of school to take care of his sister's hospital bills and became a miner, even though being a beastmaster was always his dream. Before he heads out to the mines, an S-class beastmaster named Kelly explains to the beginners that all tamed phantom beasts need magic crystals of the same element to evolve. That is where miners come in. However, some phantom beasts can also evolve by absorbing the emotions of humans as well. In this new era, most of the jobs on the market are already taken by the beasts themselves. That is why humans like Lee are forced to do hard manual labor in the mines to make a living. It is his job to go into the phantom beast world and dig for rare magic ore. While the crystals themselves are worth their weight in gold, the miners only get a tiny slice of the profits. On his way to the mines, Lee picks up some steamed buns from a smart phantom beast running a bakery. Just then, the friendly Uncle Wang hands him a snack he got from a newly opened restaurant. Seeing that, the other miners talk smack that it is disgusting to watch their boss let such a weak guy work with them and still pay him the same wage. Uncle Wang cracks down on the idiots, telling them to be nicer to the hard-working boy and not to look down on someone doing his best. He then orders the miners to stop slacking around and get moving if they think they're so strong. With that, the dapper purple-haired beastmaster accompanying them waves his hand with a faint purple aura. That causes the door to glow and turn into a fiery red. He steps through first, followed by the rest of the mining team, and Lee swears he will mine lots of ore today so no one will ever talk trash about him again. Inside, the miners immediately start wondering if they should share their earnings like usual, or divide based on how much ore each person mines. They quickly team up in pairs, leaving nice Uncle Wang stuck with the kid he seems so fond of. Furious, our boy snaps inside, because bullying him is fine, but messing with Uncle Wang is where he draws the line. Later, the two are hard at work mining ore, and Lee is going absolutely beast mode on the rocks. He feels his body aching, but he refuses to prove those idiots right about him being a weakling. Suddenly, the two hear a horrified scream echo from deeper inside the mines. When they reach the source of the sound, they find a wolf phantom beast viciously ripping into one of the miners. The purple-haired guy, who is its master, does not even look disturbed. He is cold and completely detached. Seeing that, the miners shout at the beastmaster to get his mutt under control while someone rushes to call an ambulance. With a devious grin spreading across his face, the beastmaster assures them they will not be needing one, because they are about to become doggo food too. Watching the wolf tear through the miners like paper, Lee suddenly remembers Miss Kelly's words. Some dangerous phantom beasts can evolve by absorbing human emotions such as rage and panic. Our hero takes charge, yelling at everyone to stop panicking because their fear and anger will only make the enemy stronger. He assures them they can definitely take down the shadow wolf if they stay calm, but the cowards still look far from convinced. The Beastmaster laughs and gets impressed that a mere amateur managed to see through his rage bait. Then he gives them two options. First, they can work together to slay his beast and see if they truly have what it takes to face a monster. Second, they can fight each other to the death, letting his wolf evolve from their negative emotions. Our boy refuses to become prey and quickly starts thinking of a way to calm the team down. At that moment, he notices a tattoo on the Beastmaster's shoulder and instantly recognizes it as the mark of the infamous crime syndicate, the Shadow Hunters. As the man starts counting down from 5, Lee urges everyone to stay calm and not give in to the dirty criminal's demands. But before he can finish, he feels a sharp pain in his back. He turns around and is utterly destroyed to see it is Uncle Wang who stabbed him. When he asks his longtime senior why he betrayed him, the man simply says it is natural to want to live when he has a family to take care of, unlike Lee, who has no one. In panic, the crazed old man begs our boy to die for him instead. Hearing that, Lee boils with rage and turns around to throw a punch. Before he can land it, however, he gets hit in the face by a pickaxe, and soon all the miners gang up on him. They beat the stuffing out of our boy and even start attacking each other, while the Beastmaster watches with delight, thrilled to see how powerful his wolf will become from their madness. After all is said and done, only Uncle Wang and one other miner remain standing. When the guy nervously asks what to do with the bodies, the old man comes up with a quick idea. He mercilessly kicks Lee's unconscious body into the river and tells the other miner they need to get their story straight, that it was all an accident. Meanwhile, in the cold water, the last thought running through Lee's fading mind is regret for leaving his sister behind. She even asked him to come home early that day, and now there would be no one to look after her. Even then, the thing that burns him most is not getting revenge on that lying old man and the Beastmaster. At that moment, his dark, twisted emotions catch the attention of a mysterious entity lurking beneath the water. It senses his fury and deems him worthy of its power. In exchange, it hopes Lee will use that power to free all beasts from their slave lives and destroy this rotten world once and for all. A few moments later, our hero finally rises from the water, gripping a pink tail tightly in his right hand. He looks around and realizes the pieces of trash are gone now, so he jumps out and tosses the weird pink plushie aside. Just then, he notices all his injuries are completely healed and wonders if the beast called a strawberry cat somehow did it, even though they are not known for having any healing powers. At the same time, a glowing holographic screen pops up in front of him, showing that the evolution system has been activated. It immediately assigns him a mission to forge a contract with the cat plushie. Lee is shocked when he learns he can now tame beasts, and he looks down at the derpy pink plush still lying there in a coma. But when he finally tries to use the contract ritual and reaches out to touch it, the little guy suddenly opens its eyes and looks disturbed. Without warning, it leaps back and goes full feral mode before it strikes a karate pose like it is about to dish out punishment. Our boy reminds the cat that he literally saved its life in the water, but the shameless creature punches him straight in the face and sends him flying. Seeing that smug look on its squishy face makes him boil, so the two go at it hard and long. A few hours later, he finally steps out of the gate with the cat in his arms, completely knocked. The men stationed outside notice someone coming out, but before anyone can react, our boy hides in the shadows to make sure no one realizes he is still alive. The men assume they were just seeing things and start feeling bad for poor Uncle Wang for losing more than half his mining crew. Meanwhile, Lee's burning fire for revenge grows stronger as he thinks about how none of this would have happened if that brainless geezer had not stabbed him first. He makes his way back home, only to see flames blazing out of his apartment building as soon as he turns the corner. A neighborhood lady yells at him, demanding to know where he was lazing around while his house was burning down. But when she asks where his sister is, all the blood drains from his face. Without saying a word, he bolts toward the building to find her, ignoring the lady's warning that it is too dangerous to go inside. Even with the thick smoke stinging his eyes and choking his lungs, he pounds on the locked door, desperate to hear his sister's voice. While the strawberry cat is getting roasted alive like a marshmallow, Lee fumbles with his keys and tries to unlock the door, but the stubborn lock refuses to turn. Refusing to back off, he growls in frustration and drop-kicks the handle, only to break it clean off, making it impossible to open the door now. Lee's fury boils over, and he kicks the door again and again like a madman. Just then, he hears his sister choking inside, begging him to forget about her and save himself instead. At a complete loss, our big brother lets out a scream, begging for someone to help him save his innocent sister, who still has a long life ahead of her. At that moment, the system informs him that the strawberry cat has been energized by his rage. The little guy stands up, does another one of its weird karate poses, and smashes its paw forward with a super meow punch. The impact bursts the door wide open. Inside, Cian sits in her wheelchair surrounded by flames, staring at her brother with the same stunned look he gives her, confused about what just happened. The next day, Lee finds himself in another phantom beast realm, determined to hunt down more creatures to tame. As he walks, his mind drifts back to 12 hours earlier, when he told his sister everything about Uncle Wang's betrayal. While his cat was twitching like it's having a seizure, Cian asked if they should go to the police, but Big Brother refused, explaining that the Shadow Hunter's Beastmaster would hunt him down the moment they learned he was still alive. After that, he promised her he would become so strong that no one would ever hurt her again. Back in the present, the other tamers laugh at him for making a noob mistake by choosing a strawberry cat. Meanwhile, our boy wonders why they are so proud when their beasts have such pitiful stats. That's when it hits him that the real issue might be his weird cat who has a unique skill and an unknown evolution tree. Just then, a blonde guy bursts out of the forest, yelling that he spotted a level 2 phantom beast inside. The crowd of tamers immediately panics, excited about what kind of monster it might be. When the blonde mentions that it is a lightning cat, everyone rushes in at once, desperate to catch the Pikachu-like creature first. However, Lee decides to stay put since he does not want to get involved. But when thoughts of revenge cross his mind, he gets up and tells his tiny partner it is time to catch a phantom beast. The little furball meows in his face to assert dominance and starts munching on toast, so Lee grabs it by force. Unfortunately, the cat dashes straight into the forest, forcing him to chase it all the way to a cliff. Just as he catches up and thinks about giving his cat some much-needed discipline, the devious cat grins, and our boy suddenly gets caught in a web spun by a massive candy spider diving from above. He barely dodges the spider's strike and quickly checks its stat screen, confused as to why a normally gentle species is so hostile. Before he can figure it out, he spots the real reason. The little menace is taunting the spider with smug cat gestures. He shouts for the low-level beast to stop, but the cat leaps forward to pick a fight. The candy spider spits another web, wrapping it up like a mummy in seconds. Only then does Lee realize why no one tames strawberry cats. Even though it would be easier to use the dumb thing as bait, he risks his life to snatch the plushie and sprints away. But no matter how fast he runs, the spider keeps closing the gap. When it uses its spit to blast itself forward like a rocket, our hero narrowly dodges the attack. But he realizes too late that there is no ground ahead, and he plummets right to his death along with Strawberry Cat, splashing into the waters below. For a moment, the candy spider looks down from above and gets splashed by the water. Suddenly, the water freezes solid, trapping it in ice, and the blonde beast master steps out from the shadows with his cold gaze locked on the lake. After he washes up on the shore, Lee realizes his giant dump truck has been crushing the poor cat the whole time. He quickly apologizes to the little guy, and the two begin searching for a way out of the dense forest, fighting off monsters as they go. Our boy soon notices that even the passive creatures like the sheep are weirdly hostile. Still, he feels a little bad when his beast keeps pounding on the docile ones just for experience, and for a second, he honestly wants to punch the little bully himself. Just then, he spots something strange. The sheep stays enraged even after being knocked out, which clearly means something is off in this place. Realizing the situation is getting dangerous, he tells Strawberry Cat to follow him toward what looks like an exit in the distance, but the little rascal completely ignores the order. In fact, Bro asserts dominance by power walking deeper into the forest against his master's command, and Lee goes speechless when the furball leads him straight to a beautiful house standing alone in the middle of nowhere. Suddenly, thick smoke starts surrounding the entire area, followed by a horrifying loud noise echoing through the woods. Strawberry Cat's meowing intensifies, clearly signaling it wants to go inside. With that, Lee picks up a random stick from the ground and quietly sneaks in through the front door, only to be hit by a nasty smell. When he steps inside, he sees rows of cages stacked on top of each other, and inside one of them lies a badly injured ice dog. He asks Strawberry Cat if it can force the lock open, and the little guy immediately beats the thing until it smashes apart. Lee kneels down and pats the poor thing gently on the head before asking if it can move. Looking at the dog's status screen, it is both poisoned and heavily injured. He wonders what kind of twisted monster could have done this. For now, he pulls out one of his healing potions and carefully feeds it to the ice pup, who starts recovering almost instantly with a grateful whine. After that, he checks the condition of all the other caged beasts and realizes some lunatic scientist must be using them as test subjects. As he pieces that together, the ice dog happily tugs on his pants and officially joins the squad. Later, outside the house, the dog leads him to a massive trapdoor hidden beneath the grass, which probably connects to an underground lab. The moment Lee pulls it open, an even nastier stench bursts out, confirming it is likely the lab used for those disgusting experiments. Strawberry Cat goes in first, and Lee follows right behind with his flashlight on. But before they can take another step, a ferocious wolf lunges at them from the darkness. Lee barely manages to pull the little guy to safety, and the two freeze in shock as they come face to face with a bloodthirsty hound glaring. He focuses and notices that there is a chain attached to the shadow beast. The snow pup suddenly leaps at it, catching our boy off guard. To his surprise, the hound seems friendly toward it. The snow pup then barks at him, making him wonder if it is calling him over. He tells the ice pup to make a promise that it will not attack, then he will get closer. The snow pup barks the request to the bloodhound, who only growls in response. As he walks toward it, our hero notices a journal on the desk. To his shock, he discovers that the hound is actually the mother of the ice pup. The mad scientist had forced the poor beast to devour others, wanting to see a transformation. On the 15th day, the scientist lost his temper at the beast's resistance and beat her pup in front of her to provoke anger, which caused her to transform. The pup did not die, but the man planned to make the mother devour it to observe any further change. This revelation makes our hero's rage spike uncontrollably, and he reassures the family that he will help them escape. Our boy then tells the Strawberry Cat to break the chains, and it conveniently picks up an axe. While it smashes the chain, he wonders how it is being so obedient. He brushes it off and begins working on the collar instead. Unscrewing the bolts, he tugs on it until it finally clicks open. Lee then collapses from exhaustion, joking that his hard work as a miner finally paid off. The ice pup nudges him repeatedly, and he tells it that he is just catching his breath for a second, and that only one chain is left. Just then, the hound pounces on Lee, catching him by surprise. After a brief snuggle, our hero snaps his head around as he hears approaching voices. He tells the Strawberry Cat to hide, and they crouch behind a few boxes while he instructs the hound to wrap chains around itself. Suddenly, someone throws a man down the stairs, who immediately starts begging for mercy. Lee recognizes he is one of the beast tamers from earlier and wonders why he ended up here. The blonde tells the man to calm down since he only hurts shadow beasts. Our boy narrows his eyes, recognizing him as the guy who caused a scene at the entrance. The mad scientist then asks the man why he thinks the ice dog attacked him for no reason. He reveals that he had spread blood rose pollen through the forest, which drove the beast into a frenzy. Lee watches as the mad scientist raises a crossbow at the man. The NPC begs for mercy but is mercilessly executed while our hero remains still, silently watching. Dropping the ice pup in his hand, the blonde declares that this is the perfect food for his beasts, which makes Lee's anger rise again. He whispers to the bloodhound to distract the guy while he escapes with her child. The shadow beast instantly growls at the blonde, who mocks her by saying he brought food especially for her. This only makes her growl louder, which he mistakes for excitement after witnessing the murder. As our boy makes his escape, he stops in a frozen section of the basement, where a wall of ice blocks the stairway. Suddenly, an ice demon appears out of nowhere. The mad scientist walks up behind them, taunting them that he has caught some annoying rats. He commands the ice demon to attack, who uses ice magic to freeze their legs. The blonde fires an arrow at Lee, who shields the snow pup and hugs it tightly, but a flash of red slices through the arrow mid-air, as the bloodhound growls menacingly at the mad scientist. The mad scientist cannot believe how the hound is moving so freely right before his eyes. When he realizes the intruder must have unlocked its collar, he snaps and curses at the idiot who is about to get them both killed in this mess. However, our boy calmly points out that will not be happening, informing the mother hound she can go ahead and tear the man apart. Seeing the bloodthirsty hound charge, the mad scientist quickly orders his ice demon to do something, but the hound chomps down on it like it's a crunchy taco. That leaves the blonde guy with no choice but to run for his life. Lee notices the ice melting now that the demon is gone, but the mad scientist unlocks another cage and releases the monsters, ordering them to take out the big menace before it is too late. After the bloodhound destroys one of their buddies instantly, the other beasts nervously look back at their master. He makes it very clear that he will end them with his own hands if they refuse to fight. Hearing that, the beasts lunge at the hound, distracting it just enough for the man to make a break for it. Our boy chases after the scumbag with his pets and tells Strawberry Cat to show him what he is made of. The little guy launches himself forward and smashes right into the scientist's back. Lee corners the man, saying he will not get off that easy. But the mastermind smugly explains he was not trying to run away and presses a button with a grin. As soon as he does, a crimson smoke wafts down from the roof and sends all the phantom beasts into a blind rage. Seeing the bloodthirsty hound and the others ready to rip each other to shreds, Lee grabs the mad scientist and points out that now both of them are actually going to die thanks to his stupid stunt. But the man grins at Lee's words and leans back, right in time for a massive iron door to drop down and separate the two of them completely. He laughs and wishes our hero a happy death. At first, Lee worries about what he should do with the enraged hound charging toward them, but he quickly realizes he needs to save the two he can, grabbing them tightly in his arms and making a desperate run for the stairs. The hound notices him leaving, and the little ice devil, somehow still alive, freezes his feet in place. With that, the hound swings her paw down at the helpless prey stuck in position. But at the very last second, she sees her cub's innocent little face staring back. That causes her attack to miss completely and shatter the ice, freezing our hero's feet instead. While he wonders if she finally came back to her senses, Strawberry Cat suddenly leaps out of his arms and goes full Super Saiyan, using the golden meow fist technique to absolutely annihilate the entire lab. That blast blows a hole straight through the house's roof, and once our hero escapes through it, he corners the scummy scientist once again. The mad scientist drops to his knees and begs for mercy, holding out his Pokeballs in desperation. Our hero coldly reminds him that all his victims begged as well, and asks how he treated them when they did. The guy panics and warns him to stop, saying he will be thrown in jail for murder, but our boy fires back that accidents are pretty common in dangerous territories. The blonde tries to speak, but Lee gives the order for the bloodhound to finish the trash. The satisfying screams echo through the basement, and after it ends, he tells the Strawberry Cat that it is time to go. Just then, the hound gently tugs on his sleeve, confusing our hero. The shadow beast nudges her pup forward, and he realizes that she wants him to take the ice pup with him. Seeing that the hound is on the edge of death, he picks up the pup and swears that he will take care of it. The shadow beast then slowly sinks to the floor, closing her eyes for good while our hero quietly walks away. The next day, he exits the portal, wondering how he can form a contract with the two beasts. He tries every method he can think of, but nothing works. Eventually, he lets the topic go and decides to let the ice pup sleep for now. Turning his focus to its stats, he checks the level up requirements and finds them surprisingly average. His attention then shifts to the Strawberry Cat, whose level up requirements look almost impossible, making him wonder if it is a glitch. Still, he feels reassured when he sees that it only needs one evolution crystal. Just then, he overhears two NPCs talking about a mining incident, which immediately catches his attention. Something clicks in his head as he recalls the mines. Walking up to the duo, he asks them to share the details, and they agree to tell him everything they know. Meanwhile, deep inside a random mine, the Shadow Wolf is having the time of its life, tearing into fresh victims. The evil Beastmaster states that he is happy that he didn't unalive Wong back then. The old man just endures the insults with a bow. The Beastmaster laughs, satisfied that his nightmare wolf is about to evolve again, and tosses Wong a shadow beast as a reward. Wong's eyes light up and he eagerly asks if he can become a Beastmaster too. The villain smirks and reminds him that the organization never lets its members down, making the old man bow even lower. The thug then orders him to dispose of the bodies and prepare for tomorrow's plans. The next day, all the miners gather in the forest. The old man notices a hooded figure standing in the distance and calls out to him. Our hero narrows his eyes, keeping his face hidden under the hood, while thinking that it was him all along. Uncle Wang compliments his fancy new clothes and introduces himself as the friendly team leader. Our boy shows him some serious attitude, which makes a girl with pigtails furious at his disrespect toward the nice Mr. Wang. Meanwhile, Lee cannot believe the scummy geezer is recruiting little girls for a mining crew, but the high schooler with anger issues insists she is a grown lady. Yeah, right. After that, Wang tells everyone it is time to roll, while Chen-Li looks nervous, planning to figure out why so many accidents happen in this particular mine. Stepping inside, Lee feels an eerie sense of familiarity in the tunnels where he nearly died once, and hopes the traitorous uncle does not try to repeat history. Wang then suggests everyone should split into pairs of 2 after showing them the mineral they need to find, warning them to call immediately if something feels off. All the men quickly pair up, leaving the little girl alone. Feeling bad for her, our boy invites the hopeless kid, who immediately goes all tsundere and starts insulting him out of pride. Like a true Sigma, he wishes her good luck and walks away, which makes her tough act fall apart fast. She shyly says she is fine with helping him as long as he does not get in her way. When he teasingly asks if it is her first time, Chen-Li gets flustered and brags that she is strong, so it will be easy anyway. Our hero tells her that does not matter and warns her to stay a mile away from the friendly neighborhood uncle. When she asks why he is saying that, he simply replies that she can follow his advice or ignore it. A short while later, she gets tired after some mining, so Lee hands her a water bottle and tells her to take it slow. Right then, the two freeze when a chilling scream echoes through the mine. They rush toward the noise and stop, stunned as they see a gigantic glowing mineral crystal that makes every miner drool at how rich they could become. The miner who finds it calls dibs on the biggest share, but Old Man Wang is already scheming. He notes that the beast tamer could not come because he was busy farming evolution mats. Wanting all the mineral crystals for himself, Wang decides he could become one of the strongest tamers with all that money. Just then, the miner asks if he still gets 60% like promised, with only 10% going to Wang's association. Uncle Wang has a stroke when he hears that, but the man hides it and pretends the guy is right before slashing his jugular in cold blood. The miners panic instantly, and he declares that all the minerals belong to him. Our boy expected this and tells the cruel uncle not to take what he is about to do personally. Just then, someone shouts out the nasty uncle's name. Turns out it is Chen-Li, who points a gun straight at Wang and yells for him to drop his weapon. The old man reluctantly complies, clearly not expecting the kid to be armed. She then shouts orders at the other miners to tend to the wounded. Wang tells her that she caught him off guard, but she mocks him right back for underestimating them. Lee, however, feels something is off because it is unlike Wang to surrender this easily. The old man smirks, confirming his suspicion, and our hero yells for the little officer to move out of the way. Just then, a massive stinger shoots out of the ground, grazing Chen-Li's cheek. She stumbles backward, barely keeping her balance, and wonders what the hell happened to her body. Looking up, she spots the giant scorpion and realizes in horror that it's a phantom beast. Wang mocks her for underestimating him and snatches the gun from her hand. She screams for everyone to run, but the old man warns the miners not to move a muscle. He threatens that whoever moves next will get pumped full of lead, and the crowd freezes in fear. He then offers them a deal to unalive the officer, and he'll let them live. Chen-Li shouts that the gun only has 3 bullets and urges them to run for help. The old man laughs at her suggestion, calling her stupid for thinking anyone would risk their lives, and then says that they're doomed to repeat his mistake anyway. Before he can finish his smug speech, our boy suddenly lands a punch straight in his face, sending him flying like a rag doll. The old man skids across the dirt, and Lee finally steps forward to introduce himself. Wiping the blood off his chin, Wang doesn't even look surprised to see his nephew alive. Our hero demands an explanation, and the old man admits that he suspected something was off when he didn't find any bodies after the fire. He calls Lee stubborn for surviving this long, especially after being stabbed like Swiss cheese. The miners start panicking, unsure of what to do, and Wang reminds them of his earlier offer. He calmly assures them that if they side with him, he won't need to dispose of anyone. The miners hesitate for a moment, but then surround our hero, making it look like they're about to beat him up. Lee tells them that their actions are their own choice. Since the strong always eat the weak, he doesn't blame them. But to his surprise, the miners shift stance and stand beside him instead. Wang looks completely stunned as they shout back, telling him to shut up and then declare that they'll protect the younger generation no matter what. Lee takes a breath, realizing their resolve, while the evil geezer loses his patience. He yells that they've sealed their fate and raises his pistol to fire. But before he can pull the trigger, a beam of ice shoots from the other side, freezing his hand and knocks the gun away. Everyone turns in shock as Wang also stares wide-eyed at the source. He can't believe what he's seeing, that his nephew is actually a phantom beast tamer. The miners are shocked to learn that the young boy is actually a beast tamer and believe he can save them. Still, Uncle Wang finds his little beastie pathetic and summons his massive poisonous stinger. Lee immediately commands his ice pup to neutralize the toxin, and the loyal pup releases a freezing breath that locks the poisonous gas in solid ice. The icy blast is so powerful that it forces the giant stinger to retreat underground to avoid being frozen alive. Not knowing where the creature might burst out from next, the miners begin to panic. Smirking, Old Man Wang offers to spare Lee's life if he kneels and begs for mercy, but our boy refuses to bow to a scumbag like him. The poisonous stinger aims for his head. Just as it lunges, the massive scorpion erupts from the ground right behind him. Its tail inches from striking his face. However, Strawberry Cat suddenly leaps in Jackie Chan style and drop-kicks the monster straight into a rocky wall. Uncle Wang's jaw drops as he watches a tiny cat demolish his prized creature, and our hero corners him, declaring that his life is officially over. After that, Lee grabs a pickaxe, ready to end his misery right there. But before he can swing, Chen Li suddenly calls his name and tackles him from behind. She begs him not to take a life, saying he will never be the same again if he does. Meanwhile, our boy calmly asks the oversized lolly to get off before she crushes his lungs. Strawberry Cat grins at the mega sus scene, while the miners mourn losing the loot they almost died for. Later, Chen Li cuffs the old man and declares that he is heading straight behind bars. Seeing Li trying to make a smooth exit, she tells him he is coming along as a witness too, whether he likes it or not. The officer then suggests everyone get moving before the whole cave collapses. And sure enough, the ceiling starts raining boulders as they all sprint for their lives. Chen Li freezes in horror at the sight of falling debris and cannot move her legs. Just before a massive rock flattens her, our hero rushes in, pulling her to safety at the last possible second. He commands his pets to help the others escape, and then tells her to get out fast while he goes after the old man. Moments later, a huge boulder crashes down right between them, cutting off their path. Chen Li cries out in panic, asking if he is still alive, and Li shouts back that he will find another way out. However, on the other side, the old rascal waits in the shadows, laughing that they will both be buried alive together. At that moment, our hero calmly tells him the only reason he is still breathing is because too many people were watching earlier. The old man looks confused by what he means, until Li pulls out a Glock and explains that it means he is dead. He starts interrogating the old man, asking why he kept murdering miners. Wang tries to come up with excuses, claiming he was forced to do it or else the other guy would have murdered him. Our hero asks if it is the same evil Beastmaster from last time. The old man nods yes and frantically begs for forgiveness, even offering to help set a trap. Li brushes the idea aside and says that all the old guy needs right now is a one-way first-class ticket straight to hell. He fires at a rock above the old man, causing it to fall. Wang tries to beg for help one last time but gets silenced permanently by the boulder. Our boy mocks his dead body, saying he only begs for mercy when he is on the other end of his own treatment. Calling him trash, he turns back to find a way out. Unknown to him, some purple smoke escapes from the guy and starts rising to the surface. Meanwhile, on the outside, everyone is desperately trying to dig a way in. Chen Li yells at them to keep digging while Li's beasts frantically help too. Just then, the evil smoke escapes into the air and enters the Strawberry Cat. The beast collapses from the pain, catching the NPCs by surprise. Everyone decides to take it away to let it rest for a bit and reassure it that they will get their boy out no matter what. That night, Li finally wakes up in shock, but then realizes he is in a hospital. His beasts are asleep next to him, which makes him smile. He thinks he is lucky they were there. Otherwise, he would not have survived. A voice calls out, asking if he is awake, and a woman walks into the room. She introduces herself as the vice president of the Beast Tamer Association. Li instantly recognizes she is Baishi and fanboys all over her. When he asks her if she needs something, she says it involves his phantom beasts. The lady then explains that the association knows he does not have a beast license and needs to confiscate his beasts. This makes our boy alert, and he tries to come up with an excuse. She cuts him off and says she has a proposal for him. The vice president tells him he can take the licensing exam, to which our boy asks what happens if he fails. She reassures him that he can try again, though he still finds the whole thing fishy. She explains that despite not having contracts, the two beasts did their best to save him, which is something she finds unusual. Going into story mode, she explains that normally beasts always have some sort of hostility toward humans. When a person tames them, a bond forms that suppresses this hostility. This is why she is curious about what our hero did to make those two so attached to him without even using a contract. Our hero figures he has no reason to refuse, and she calls him a smart boy. He considers himself more of a lab rat, but she brushes it off and tells him to contact her once he recovers. Remembering the incident, he asks about the people in the mines, and she says it is about to get noisy. As if on cue, a voice shouts for him, and Chen Li rushes in with a nurse chasing her. Li has a bro moment while Baishi rides away on her phantom beast. Chen Li tries to shake him out of his thoughts, but he wonders if he should just fake passing out to escape her. Back at the association, the vice prez hands over a list of the best tamer exam candidates to the president. He asks her about the highly talented boy she told him about, and she confirms she already informed him he needs to take the exam soon. The graceful man tells her to stop being so formal all the time and looks forward to seeing what the candidates really got. He notices another girl who is also a top talent and quietly wonders which genius will come out on top. Right then, he gets a phone call from the lab and asks his informant if there is any update on the escaped lab rat. He gets angry on hearing his men found nothing again and hangs up in frustration. The vice prez asks if he needs her help in the search, but he tells her to relax because this kind of dirty work only suits a dirty old man like him. Meanwhile, our boy stands outside the exam location where his old friends Gao and Lu are surprised to see him there. The guys have a bro moment and then ask where he went after dropping out of school. Lu tells them he needed a job to make some quick money for an emergency. Lu gets offended that he did not tell them anything, while Gao notices he has already tamed 2 beasts. He tries to explain that he did not exactly tame them, so Gao is amazed to learn they are following him by choice. Lu says that the strawberry cat cannot make a proper contract for some reason, but Gao refuses to believe that, and Lu wonders if he got scammed with cheap materials for the ritual. Being the proud owner of an empty bank account, Li agrees that might just be true. With that, there is an announcement for all candidates to enter, and the boys excitedly head inside. In the exam room, they learn about 3 parts of the test. The first is about their knowledge of phantom beasts, the second is about signing a contract with a beast they bring or buy, and the last one will be to control their beast to win 3 battles. With that, the first part begins, and the instructor summons 3 Pokemon who had too much Tylenol: a Chibi Pikachu, a Blue Ninetales, and a vegan rabbit. All the candidates are stumped by the difficult questions, but our boy uses his encyclopedia system to basically read the answers. When he sees how hopeless his buddies are, he tells the 2 oafs to copy everything he writes word for word. 2 hours pass and the lady finally announces the names of everyone who passed. Gao and Lu are confused why their names are not coming up, and Li sweats, wondering if his encyclopedia's answers were wrong. He asks if they copied his work word for word, and the guys explain they changed it up a bit. That makes our boy sweat even harder. But right then, the lady announces the 2 students who accost the exam with full marks. First, she names our protagonist, and then the other top talent of the year, Kelsa. Sometime later in the cafeteria, everyone starts gossiping about Lee, who aced the exam. His friends keep praising him non-stop, calling him their big brother. He tells them to cut it out and asks when exactly he became their big bro. They reassure him that luck is also a skill, so he should quit pretending to be humble. When the testing phase for the contract begins, our hero has no luck with the strawberry cat, who just attacks him on sight. Every attempt ends in failure while his friends enjoy the show. Our boy eventually drops to his knees from exhaustion while Kelsa wastes no chance to taunt him, calling him a fraud. She then asks the teacher to set the contract circle for her. The teacher sighs and tells her to begin. Kelsa starts the ritual, and both she and her beast begin glowing blue. However, something suddenly happens to the ice python, shocking the girl. Flashback to before the contract test. Kelsa walked up to our hero full of sass. Lee recalls she is the other student who also got a perfect score, and asks if she needs something. She boldly declares that she is better than him in every way, which makes Liu snap and tell her to shut it. Kelsa mocks him, saying he should step aside since he cheated, but he tells her to screw off. Meanwhile, our boy notices something off about her phantom beast and checks its stats. He tells her straight up that her beast looks suspicious and she should have it inspected at the dealership. She ignores his advice and snaps that people like him are known for deceiving others. She leaves, but not before warning him not to run into her during the tests, or she will send him crying for his mama. After returning to her apartment, she slaps her cheeks and keeps gaslighting herself that she is the best and cannot lose whatsoever. She then pets her ice python, telling it that they have to do their best, completely missing the evil aura in its eyes. Sometime later, the contract rituals begin, starting with a curly-haired guy and his mouse phantom beast. Gao and Lu comment that this second trial is practically a breeze, since all they need to do is form a contract. Our boy looks nervously at the strawberry cat, but it just gives him a nasty look in return. The teacher then calls Lee to the stage for his turn, and his friends start cheering loudly. He stares down at his beast, telling himself that this is it, then announces that he is starting now. As soon as the contract circle activates, the little rascal loses it and smashes the ground with a punch. His friends are left speechless by the scene, while our hero grows more irritated by the second. The other candidates are laughing their heads off since they have never seen a reaction like this before. The teacher asks if he wants to switch his beast, but Lee insists on continuing with the little rascal. Even though his compatibility with the ice pup is higher, he believes this is his only real chance he will get with the strawberry cat. He tells himself that he has to do this no matter what, but the beast still refuses to listen and smashes the ground again and scratches his face. All the others burst out laughing at the sight of someone with such weak aura that even a strawberry cat refuses to acknowledge him. Lee admits defeat and gives up eventually. That is when Kelsa tells him to step aside so she can show everyone what a real beastmaster looks like. She asks the teacher for permission to start the contract, and then confidently starts the process with her ice python. Everything goes smoothly at first, until the snake gets angry all of a sudden. The snake suddenly goes nuts and starts lashing its tail around wildly, hitting everyone in sight, including the lady overseeing the exam. Our hero manages to leap in and save her at the very last second, landing in a sus position as usual. He gets angry that the stupid girl still did not follow his advice to get her beast checked earlier. While all the other candidates run for their lives, Kelsa rushes toward her precious Jennifer in panic. Lee tries to stop her because her beast is clearly not in its senses right now. But the Karen angrily slaps his greasy hands away and swears her pet would never hurt a soul. She calls Jennifer to come to mommy, but the demonic ice python turns around menacingly and starts approaching her slowly. Suddenly it lashes Kelsa so hard that she's thrown into the iron fence, then follows up by going in for a deadly bite. In that moment she sees her entire life flash before her eyes. She remembers her parents constantly annoying her by saying she needs to learn from her brother's example. That irritated her so much that she was dead set on becoming far stronger than her dumb brother. Over time, she trained her ice python ruthlessly and never let it rest. Although that training made it faster and stronger, she realizes she made her best partner hate her in the process. With its jaws wide open ready to swallow her whole, Strawberry Cat comes in clutch, punching it away with perfect timing. Lee yells at Kelsa to run while she still can, and confidently commands his cat to perfectly dodge and strike at the right moments. Seeing that, Kelsa is amazed he has such sharp coordination with his beast even without a contract. The tense battle rages on until backup finally arrives, and the lady thanks our hero for stalling, telling him they will handle the rest from here. The men tell Kelsa she can always get a new one, but she panics and insists there must be another way to save her girl. When Mustache Man calls it impossible to stop an enraged monster like that, our boy snaps and tells him to cease his obnoxious yapping. He furiously explains that the python is clearly in severe pain, and questions if they ever think of it as more than just a monster built for fighting. Lee tells Kelsa he will save Jennifer no matter what, but Mustache Man mocks him, calling him nothing more than a contractless brat. Hearing that, our hero yells at his partner to make the darn contract if he wants to save the ice python as well. Just then, a golden light envelops the two, and their contract is successfully forged. That leaves everyone absolutely bamboozled at how the two managed to make a pact in such a chaotic situation. After that, Strawberry Cat locks in and uses just one kung fu fist, which is somehow effective against rage, to completely blast the ice python unconscious. Sometime later, the vice president begins her meeting and asks about the situation. The official explains that the ice python went berserk but was stopped by our boy. However, the cause behind the incident is still under investigation. Baishi then asks about Kelsa, and the official replies that she is fine. Staring at the files, the vice pres wonders what could have caused it, and tells the official to give her some privacy. The man bows respectfully, thinking that Lee is insanely lucky to be having a private conversation with her. A drop of sweat rolls down his temple as he remembers insulting the guy earlier. Once he leaves, she praises our boy and mentions that the junior certificate might not be enough for someone like him. He tries to play it off, but she tells him to quit pretending to be modest, reminding him that staying calm in a life-or-death situation is no small feat. She hands him a paper saying it is the highest qualification she can offer at this branch, which makes him light up. She continues that it would not be surprising if he soon took the senior licensing exam. Getting serious, Baishi adds that since he is officially a beast tamer now, she has a mission for him. Meanwhile, in another building, a thug orders his lackeys to destroy everything and leave no trace. He curses himself for not using more poison and admits that the plan was a total failure. He never expected that Strawberry Cat to completely overpower the ice python. Just then, one of his lackeys reports that everything has been smashed, and they prepare to leave. Suddenly, a voice tells them not to be in such a rush. The thugs turn around in surprise and question the mysterious stranger. The Mohawk guy loses his patience and pulls out a gun. They open fire, but the bullets bounce off harmlessly like your attempts to flirt with your crush. The gangsters freeze, realizing this man might not even be human. The long-haired thug tries his luck with a pipe, but the stranger effortlessly catches it mid-swing and says that was the wrong answer. He then summons his phantom-type shadow beast, making the thugs break out in a cold sweat. They immediately drop to their knees and beg for mercy. The stranger asks who gave them the orders, but they stay silent, terrified of being unalived by their master. The man in the suit doesn't press them, which briefly makes them sigh in relief. But then he adjusts his gloves and calmly says he's quite skilled at talking with the dead. The guy then commands his phantom beast to attack. The thugs beg that they will talk, but it's too late, and they get ripped apart in seconds. The man in the suit then grabs one of them by the face and looks into his memories. Inside, he sees a blonde man giving orders to sabotage the competition. When the image fades, the mysterious man opens his eyes, thinking that he finally knows who's behind it. Back with our hero, he wonders if the mission might be too dangerous, but Baishi reassures him that he'll be fine. She then asks why, instead of chasing wealth, everyone now dreams of becoming a beast trainer. Like a kid, Lee answers that it's simply awesome. She corrects him, saying that reaching the intermediate beast master level unlocks a broken ability. Normally, no matter how tough someone is, they can't take a bullet. Our boy catches on to what she's implying, and she confirms that at that level, Phantom Beast can actually take some of the damage for their master. It is explained that soul link is a technique only intermediate tamers can use to link their soul with their pets, causing all their damage to temporarily transfer to the tamed beast. The next day at the park, the ladies are instantly impressed when they see such a young guy with a massive tamed lion. Right then, the lion's actual owner arrives and Bowl-Cut Boy thanks him for hiring him as a babysitter. Even though all his aura gets instantly deleted in the ladies' eyes, the guy is still glad that he at least managed to get their attention for a moment. After that, the girls notice our boy taking a casual stroll and wonder if he's also just a babysitter, because someone that young surely can't be a real tamer. Bowl-Cut Boy assumes Lee is probably a babysitter like him, since there's no way someone that sloppy could actually be a tamer. After our boy takes his seat, the guy asks him how much he charges for walking dogs. My guy wonders if bro is blind, and points out that he has a cat, and Strawberry Cat meows in disappointment. The guy tells him he's probably new to the job and starts explaining what he does for a living, so Lee calmly lets him know he isn't interested. Bowl-Cut Boy gets irritated by his fake chill attitude and tells him to stop bluffing. Just then, the vice prez rolls up in her silver Bugatti and apologizes to our hero for making him wait so long. After he takes his seat, she tells him to read over the mission details and hold on tight as she presses the throttle and zooms off at full speed. Bowl-Cut Boy nearly dies from embarrassment while the girls immediately start gushing over Lee. Back at the association, the vice president tells him she'll take him to the training center first, because the seniors will probably try to bully him on his first day. She explains that the training center used to be under the association, but that changed when a senior tamer was hired as the director, and the man has a few screws loose. When he's in a good mood, his training is excellent, but when he's not, he throws everyone straight out of the room. That's why the association lets recent tamers study beforehand to raise their chances of passing. With a helpless voice, she comments that the pass rate has seriously dipped since the senior tamer was hired, which means their branch now gets less budget overall. Inside, Kelsa is surprised to see Vice Pres Baishi back, and even more shocked that Lee actually passed. Jennifer instantly gives him a peck on the cheek, but Kelsa warns her to stay away from their supposed enemy, even though he literally saved her life. With that said, the vice president tells them both to get ready to meet Master Pan. On their first meeting, Master Pan thinks Lee got his intermediate certificate through illegal methods. When our hero asks what he's trying to imply, the man straight up accuses him of using family connections, because most of the young generation is doing that lately. Then he states the newbies must prove himself face to face. The vice prez tries to reason with Master Pan, reminding him that the association sent him a live recording of Lee defusing the Python incident. But the senior tamer says it was probably photoshopped and that it's not even a big deal for a trainer to take down a rogue beast. The man then tells the two recruits that they can kiss their licenses goodbye if they fail his test. Master Pan's baseless accusations make Kelsa furious, and she questions why an exam topper like her can't become certified just because of his brain rot logic. The director flexes his authority and says she can't take any real missions without his approval. Having heard more than enough, Lee tells the director to stop wasting time and just give them the orders for what he wants exactly. That's just what the man wanted to hear, so he smirks, cranks open a heavy door, and reveals the phantom beast they'll be facing next. The beast in question turns out to be an injured red fox. Looking at its condition, Kelsa is shocked and demands to know who was heartless enough to torture the fuzzball. Master Pan boldly declares that beast tamers like them are the reason it ended up this way. This stuns Kelsa, who demands an explanation. The director instead asks if they are here to learn Soul Link, and then explains that they will have to take their beast on life-threatening missions. He adds that there will be times they are forced to transfer their injuries to their beasts, and accuses them of eventually abandoning those partners once they get too damaged. Master Pan then challenges them, asking if they even dare face the flame fox now, which refuses to go near any human. He tells them that if they lack the guts to answer, they can leave right now. However, Lee stays focused on the beast and checks its stats. The poison status makes sense, but what confuses him is the mutation tag. He then asks the director what he fed the flame fox, catching him off guard. Losing patience, our boy tells him to spit it out already, or the fox will be in real danger. Master Pan replies that he only gave it dragon fruit, which shouldn't be life-threatening at all. Lee thinks that dragon fruit is standard food for fire types, yet it's having a bad reaction. He then asks the old man if the fox recently fought an ice type. The director admits it, but says that he followed the usual rules and waited before feeding it. Going full Sherlock mode, Lee notices there's no ice attributes showing, so the issue must be tied to the poison status. He concludes that the fox is suffering from both ice and poison elements spreading through its body. Master Pan is stunned to hear such a rare combination, but Lee assures him he's certain. What's more, the poison seems to contain traces of ice attributes, which explains everything. He then asks the system for a way to help, and it provides a recipe. Lee quickly lists the ingredients to the old man and tells him to fetch them fast if he wants the fox to survive. The director looks doubtful that this random student can cure the beast, but Lee confidently says he'll do his best, Moments later, our hero awakens his inner Gordon Ramsay mode, mixing ingredients and preparing the medicine. The director and Kelsa exchange looks, unsure if he's a doctor or a chef right now. After a while, Lee turns around holding a bowl of disgusting-looking sludge in his hands. Both of them doubt that this plate of vomit could cure anything, but Lee ignores their judgment and sets it in front of the beast. He tells the fox to trust him and eat, since refusing means certain death anyway. An hour passes and the flame fox has been vomiting non-stop. Master Pan loses it, shouting that Lee made things worse. Lee tells him to chill his buns and insists his measurements were correct. Just then, flames roar to life behind the old man, who spins around in shock. Lee grins and declares that the flame fox is back to its full glory. Pumping his fist, he tells it to make the most of its second chance and introduces it as a frostfire fox. The director is stunned that it even managed to evolve, while our boy congratulates the beast proudly. Lee then asks if he passed the test, leaving the director speechless that the kid doesn't realize the extraordinary feat he just pulled off. Playing along, he agrees to teach him the secret arts, but warns him of one thing. If Lee ever abandons his beasts, he will personally hunt him down. With that, the director tells him to follow. But just then, the frostfire fox tugs on Lee's shirt, leaving him puzzled. The fox suddenly licks Lee's cheek, making him laugh out loud. Meanwhile, the two watching are speechless that the fox actually warmed up to the guy. Our boy tells the beast that he will be heading out now, which instantly makes it depressed again. The director delivers a swift punch to the back of his head, yelling at him for being dense about its feelings. Lee argues that he does not have the money to care for such an expensive beast, and besides, he does not have the previous owner's permission. Master Pan explains that the trash who owned it before was kicked out of the organization for mistreating it, so Lee has nothing to worry about. He then adds that raising the strawberry cat is easy anyway, since it just eats scraps. That remark makes the little rascal rage, while Lee sighs that he already has an ice hound at home, so things are tight. The director stays firm that he cannot hurt the fox's feelings any further, then offers him a job treating phantom beasts. Lee's eyes light up instantly and he accepts on the spot, making the fox beast just as happy. The scene shifts to the vice president arguing with director Liu over the phone about allowing Lee and Kelsa to join the dangerous military mission. She reminds him that the students are only supposed to observe, but the director tries to reason with her. He explains that ever since phantom beasts appeared, every country has been racing to develop the strongest ones. That is why they must maintain their edge to protect their peace. He warns her that if other countries get ahead, the balance will crumble. He promises that the students' safety will remain the top priority, but this is a risk they have to take. After a pause, Baishi reluctantly agrees. The next day, all Beastmasters in the region gather for the mission. Our hero looks around and realizes these are the best of the best. He notices that every tamer here has 2 phantom beasts, with at least one being tier 2 or higher. Just then, an armored vehicle rolls in and everyone starts whispering with excitement. A macho guy steps out in a military uniform, and the Beastmasters immediately start gossiping that he does not even look strong. Not letting that slide, the man in sunglasses lets out a wave of aura that freezes everyone in fear. Our boy instantly recognizes it as lethal intent, and both of them then proceed to generate massive aura. He figures the guy is testing their mental fortitude. Mr. Sunglasses then smiles faintly and thinks that maybe this bunch will not be total trash after all. He begins his speech, praising the students for making it this far. He explains that their mission is to capture a powerful phantom beast, rumored to be at least tier 3. To make sure no one tries to run away, he says he will first conduct a little training assessment. 2 cocky Beastmasters laugh that it is pointless, since they are elites already. The instructor smirks and tells the 2 geniuses to step right up. They then launch their made-in-China Pokeballs, summoning their beasts, a venomous centipede and a fire bull. The man simply shouts for his golden lion, and the beast bursts straight through the armored vehicle with a thunderous roar. It leaps into battle, smashing both beasts with terrifying strength. The fight ends in less than 5 seconds, leaving the 2 overconfident students stunned. The onlookers whisper in awe at how insanely powerful that creature is, while Lee uses the system and realizes that the golden lion is a tier 3 beast. The instructor explains that the golden lion is nothing compared to the beast they'll face in the future. He declares that anyone lacking the strength for it should step down now, since the military has no use for trash. A few students instantly bail, muttering that their lives aren't worth the risk. Our hero stands his ground, remembering what the vice prez told him. She had warned that the mission would be dangerous beyond reason, but in return, the military could help his sister walk again. That thought alone keeps him motivated enough. Snapping back to the present, he notices Kelsa approaching and asks if she's sure she doesn't want to leave. She takes it as an insult, but Lee quickly clarifies that her python might turn hostile in such an intense environment. Kelsa brushes it off, pointing out that his situation is far worse with the strawberry cat. The instructor then steps forward and announces that he'll explain their training plan for the coming days. He states that since they're all elites, he won't waste time teaching them about forming bonds with their beasts. From today onward, they'll focus on syncing perfectly with their phantom beasts and learning to complete missions under pressure. Since 12 people remain, he orders them to form groups of 3. The Beastmasters start scouting for partners, while our boy sweats nervously, realizing he doesn't know a single person here. Two NPCs instantly start hitting on Kelsa, boasting that they can protect her. She rejects them without hesitation, which ticks one of them off. The guy orders his Pikachu to attack, but it gets obliterated in one hit by Jennifer. Kelsa walks up to our boy and tells him he can team up with her if he begs for it right there. Before he can say anything, a girl approaches Lee and calls out his name. She introduces herself as Park and asks if he'd like to partner up with her. Our hero is taken aback by her looks, and she adds that she noticed how he didn't flinch earlier when the instructor released his killing intent, so he must be strong. Lee scratches his head and admits that his phantom beast is just a strawberry cat, which makes the little rascal fume. Before he can explain, Park tells him it doesn't matter since phantom beasts can grow stronger, but people can't. Seeing how honest he is, she summons her own phantom beast, revealing a radiant Tier 2 lizard named Kalen. Our boy's eyes widen in awe at the sight, and Park then asks if his reaction means yes. Seeing her strength, he agrees instantly, but his hand suddenly gets smacked away. Kelsa barges in and demands to know why he ignored her this whole time. She insists he can't team up with Park because she seems suspicious and stays stubborn about it. The instructor walks over to the cat and declares that the three of them will form a team, since they're already so lively together. Kelsa glares, demanding what that's supposed to mean. Mr. Sunglasses simply points toward her phantom beast. Kelsa spins around, shouting at Jennifer for betraying her, while the python is already swooning over Lee. Meanwhile, the instructor thinks that it's incredibly risky to recruit this batch of students, and they should enjoy the peace for now. The scene then shifts to a hospital room, where a man slowly wakes up on a bed. Baishi walks in alongside a commander, and the man tries to speak but no words come out. He begins to panic as he realizes he can't make a sound. The vice prez tells him to calm down, explaining that his voice box is badly damaged. She instructs him to just nod or shake his head in response to questions.
Guys, that's the end of the video. If you like this video, please leave a comment in the comment section. Also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Like the video and share it too. Thank you for watching and see you next time again.